Let's just face it. Most people are lifeless, right? But is mental illness to blame for them crashing out for whatever reason? Yes and no. Some people do it for attention. Some people do it for self-satisfaction. And some people are just plain stupid. But the people who really have the biggest mental issues are the prosecutors. We have a career criminal who was let free after a North Carolina stabbing. Mind you, he has a lot more under his belt. Let's go check it out. Fox News.
That this guy had been involved in. He was a career criminal. And look, I think everybody's getting tired of this deer in the headlights attitude when there are mental health issues involved. This is not the first time this guy's committed violent crimes, and there are throughout his previous incidents.
Yeah, let's check it out. Charges for speeding, communication threats, and injury to property. Wow, dismissed by the prosecutors. Was this all in February 2015? He was convicted of robbery with a dangerous weapon, released 6 months early. Wow, Charlie was a good boy. When you're a good boy, you get released early for good behavior. So they say. So, this year and the year before that, arrested 3 times for misusing 911. How the hell do you misuse 911? I mean, how stupid can you be? When you're like 5 years old, that's the first thing you learn about the telephone is 911. And then August 22, he was charged with first-degree murder. Damn. Then why'd they scatter the dates like this? Back in April 2014, which was already over a decade ago, he was convicted of felony larceny and breaking and entering. The judge suspended the sentence. September 2022, he was arrested for assault on a female, probably his baby mama or his girlfriend. Wow. Judge released mental capacity evaluation. But see, there's not enough help for people that have mental issues. Was he ever put on medication? Probably not. Because people don't pay attention to men's mental issues. Mind you, when it comes to women, there's more women on antidepressants than men are. Just remember that. That's the whole issue right here. But let's keep going.
His own mother, his own attorney, begged the court system to put him into a mental health program, to get him evaluated, to get him into, in a situation where he was incarcerated while receiving mental health, care, and not be a danger to the public on a transit system like this. I mean, this is not the first time somebody has come up behind a passenger in this particular transit system and stabbed them. This has happened before. I just watched the video of it. So,
yeah, it happened a while back in the Bay Area where I live almost 10 years ago. The girl was just waiting for the train to come. Guy just randomly gets off the train and just stabs her for no reason and killed her. And what makes it even worse is it was one of my colleagues' cousins. Yeah.
The shame on the whole system here. As you mentioned, Carly, this was entirely a preventable incident. This metro rail system, this light rail system, as the U.S. Attorney said yesterday, is a rolling homeless shelter. And you have to have your head on a swivel when you get on this light rail system.
And that's true. Most public transportation in America is dangerous. Especially, you see all the bullshit that happens on New York subways all the time and trains. So it's the same where I live at too, the Bay Area. The BART system. BART has its own police. But half of the time they're nowhere to be found. And yet they get paid more than regular street officers, city police officers.
I have 3 daughters. I would never let them ride this metro rail system here.
Oh. Wow. He sounds like an alpha male. Shit. He'll never, okay, yeah.
Charlotte.
Chris, on the judge, quickly, all 10 GOP House members from North Carolina signed a letter pushing for removal of this magistrate judge who released the suspected killer like you just discussed. How tough will it be to kick her off the bench?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty tough. I mean, clearly she's incompetent. And I think she has some business interests in rehab, some sort of rehab facility, which I wonder if it isn't a conflict of interest there. So I think I think that they report her to judicial standards in North Carolina.
sometimes the prosecutors fall in love with the suspects. That could be an issue too. Maybe she had a soft spot in her heart for him. We don't know how old this judge is, but age don't matter in America. Anything goes, right?
At least there'll be an investigation and they can reveal what's going on here, because magistrates they're the first line of defense, if you will, in the judicial system. They're the ones that set bond. They see these people when they're first brought in. They make the decision as to whether they're going to go right back out on the street again, and too often that's exactly the case. They're right back out on the street. The DA's office shares some responsibility because they clearly have established these soft on crime policies: no cash bail, no prosecution of drug offenses, minimal prosecution of misdemeanors and low-level felonies. And that's the breeder ground for career criminals. If you don't get them in the system and get the worst of the worst incarcerated, crime is just going to go through the roof, which it has.
Yeah.
And it's irrefutable that once you get...
And guess what? Crime is going to keep going through the roof. You want to know why? Because the average person is struggling to support themselves financially and mentally. Meaning, like, all it takes is somebody, like a divorce or somebody to crash out. It's like crime is going to always increase with price tag, if that makes sense. So the more things rise in cost, that's already equivalent to more crime that's going to happen. So there's going to be more murders. And that's why they're pushing this ICE thing, to where they're trying to get as many immigrants out as they can, because they feel like a lot of them are career criminals. So they're trying to get the illegals out to ease that off. But then I'm like, okay, what about the residents that were born here? A lot of them are criminals too. A lot of them have mental issues and doing shit like this.
Get police officers on the street and do aggressive prosecutions, crime will go down.
When somebody tells you who they are, you believe them, and this guy told us who he was 14 times over. Also, Chris, when it comes to crime, President Trump and several cabinet members went out to dinner last night in Washington, D.C. This is the first time the president went out to dinner in D.C. during his second term, and it comes, of course, amid his crime crackdown. So here's what the president had to say before heading into the restaurant.
Oh, boy.
We're going to be announcing another city that we're going to very shortly. We're working it out. We'll announce it probably tomorrow, and it's going to be something where we'll do like we did here. But this city, here I am standing out in the middle of the street. I wouldn't have done this 3 months ago, 4 months ago. I certainly wouldn't have done it a year ago. This was one of the most unsafe cities in the country. Now it's as safe as there is in the country.
So how important is it to see the president out on the streets of Washington, D.C., and what do you think about that upcoming announcement of going into another city?
I never understood D.C., the District of Columbia. Why is it so ghetto if that's our capital? That's supposed to be the heart of America. Ghetto as hell. Anyways, this is Kyle LaVale. I'll leave the clip down here for the full story, because ain't nobody got time for all that, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.